in teaming up with Berks Teens Matter for a special event that we were looking to work on. But before we get into that, I know last time I kind of jumped the gun, if you will, to get the meeting started last week. So I just wanted to see if there was like any public comments, or if you know anybody who would be jumping in for public comment at all. No, nobody? All right. Cool. Oh, look at that. Right on time. We have Jonathan. Very nice. All right, cool. So this meeting is mostly to get the ball rolling as far as like prepping and planning for the what we had considered as far as like name is Let's Keep Talking for next month. Some of the notes that I have from that meeting, if you will, is that we were looking to meet at Reading High in some capacity to talk about teen pregnancy. We were looking to involve the youth ambassadors that are part of Berks Teens Matter. We understood that your mission was like engaging youth and trusted adults about healthy relationships and connecting them with needed services. So just looking to see where the youth commission gets involved in that department. And then, oh wow, that's a lot of notes actually. Just basically trying to work together to start this process of one, reducing teen pregnancy by 2022. I believe there was like a certain percentage you guys were looking to get to. And then basically at the end of the day, bringing sex education back into the schools. So it's a lot, but the first step in this whole thing is the Let's Keep Talking initiative. So I just wanted to know exactly what, because I mean we talked about a lot last time. It's just how do we want Let's Keep Talking to look is in regards to it being a continuation of Let's Talk Month, which is happening as we speak. So Nadine, Heather, for one, now that we're recording, good evening again. And then also, how exactly on your end do you think it should look for us to continue? Oh, and Jonathan, I'm so sorry, Jonathan as well. Good evening. Just looking to see how we can continue the conversation of teen pregnancy and sex education and everything of the sort. How is it that we should involve ourselves with this, and how is it gonna look on your end? The floor is yours.
So I missed the tail end of your last meeting, so I don't know. I apologize that I was just kind of coming into this role, and I still am very much doing some catching up. So I don't know if it would be best for Nadine or Jonathan to jump in with their ideas. I know Jonathan has been hard at recruiting YAs and has been doing some stuff with them at the school. So maybe he can speak to his experience a little bit, and I'm here to lend my assistance however you all need.
In terms of the ways right now, we have one, but we're seeing that it's being a little bit conflicting because of course the days that we meet, there's other clubs also meeting, and there's students that want to be involved. It's just a matter of conflicting schedules. But I'm in contact with other with some of the clubs, for example, the GSA, Mural Club, Avidum. So I can also bring this to those clubs as not necessarily as youth ambassadors, but also invite them to be connected with the youth commissioners too. And of course, we're talking about more than 50 students that I can think of, 3 different clubs, and I can bring more. And of course, the youth ambassador that is currently involved.
And Jonathan, you said you have other folks that have expressed interest in being youth ambassadors, but just haven't been able to connect up with the date and time. So would you say like there's another possibly handful of those, or?
I will say so. Especially because they are interested in the topic. It's just a matter of finding the times to meet, and I can follow up, and let's say that we have a different meeting or something like that, maybe with the support of these other advisors, maybe we can actually create a meeting about it, because of course they will have way more influence and power than I do.
Okay. I just had a just quick question in regards to that. Do you think, because it sounds like there's like a lot of basically like conflicting of schedules is like kind of a big reason why things don't really, not that they don't have momentum, it's just like it's kind of like a little bit of a bump on the road, if you will. If we just set like a set date and time for all of this, do you think these organizations will be able to adjust accordingly, or is it like, are they like really like adamant about like having their set schedules per week or whatever the case may be? You know what I mean?
Well, the fact is that, for example, they have their set their days set up. Some of the students, they have, they belong to 4 or 5 different clubs or extracurricular activities. So, Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing that, Wednesday I'm doing this other thing. So I will have to tell them way more in advance and maybe find a different time frame that doesn't conflict, so they can all be part of it.
To chime in off of what Jonathan is saying as well, I think we are really, like, especially with everything going on at COVID era and the schools trying to like constantly change and adapt to that, Jonathan is definitely having his work cut out for him. It's been a lot of extra that he's had to do to try to get people to like, come in and be part of that. So I would also mirror what he was saying, just with like, if we're thinking of doing something for next month, being able to onboard them and then get them to have that commitment while also respecting, kind of all the other stuff that they have going on in their lives. That would just be kind of one thing that I would like to bring to the attention.
Yeah, no, totally understandable. Especially, I mean, I kind of have a living, breathing example right now with the youth commission. I understand like there's certain times that work for people. So I get it. I totally understand that we have to adjust accordingly depending on like schools, depending on the students themselves. Totally understand that one. So what if 'cause I believe last time when we had this meeting, we were looking to have like, while we were looking to have a month, I know there was like, we were at least trying to have one particular event to to get at the least the ball rolling. So pretty much on that front, I know we were talking a lot about working with the school district to try to have conversations about this. And luckily today we happen to have a representative of the school board here. So Mark, one, good evening, my good man. And two, what would it take, or what does the conversation look like for us to integrate the youth commission and Berks Teens Matter to have these conversations about teen pregnancy, sexual education, everything of the sort in the schools? 'Cause I know that's kind of been what's the proper word to like, I guess not taboo, I don't think that's the right word for it, but it's just been like an iffy conversation, if you will.
Right. Yeah. So I would think it would be like a partnership with I'm gonna forget whoever is in our schools right now doing this kind of stuff. So not necessarily like we have a service in the district that provides like some of these services, but not everything that you're talking about. I just can't remember what it's called. I can find out, but regardless, what we would probably want to do is connect with, I would get you and see everything's moving around because Mumin left and now everything's shuffled. So I'm trying to think off the top of my head who the best contact would be. I think who we would end up putting you in contact with would be Wanda Crespo, who is now the acting assistant superintendent. She might be like the easiest, but honestly, like if it's just going to be at Reading High, we could probably just put you in touch with the principal at Reading High. What I will say is like, if you're looking to do this with any like urgency, we still haven't allowed outside agencies to come into the district yet. I'm like 87% sure we're going to vote to allow that to occur this month. But like there is always that overarching possibility that that doesn't occur, in which case this would be a lot more difficult to accomplish. So that was a lot of I don't know for you. And I apologize for that.
Mark, does it make a difference that in any way, and you might not know the answer to this because I know it's a very complex system, but Jonathan already is in the school as Berks Teens, as the health resource coordinator for Berks Teens Matter. And he already has a presence in the school, and we have like a memorandum of understanding.
Right. Okay. So maybe you guys are the guys that I was thinking
We
of
might
when
be.
I was saying that. It's hard to keep. It's hard to keep track
I
of all that.
understand completely.
I was gonna start going back into the agendas and seeing, because I know we get a presentation every year.
Yeah,
Like
really
all the numbers of different stuff that's going on, how many visits have been there and things like that. So yeah, I don't so I don't know how much that changes things, because like I know like, so like the Reading Recreation Commission, they do a lot of things in the district. Like they have those kinds of MOUs and stuff, but like they're still like they were really worried about the girls leadership program that they run. They were really worried about that. And so that's kind of how I know that we're about to start talking about it this month, about letting other agencies come into the district, because I reached out because Daphne was really concerned that they weren't going to be able to start that in a decent amount of time. So I think though that might be a mood issue, because I'm fairly certain that with everything that we've had going on, I mean, we've been doing sports, no problem. We've been doing all of our extracurriculars, no problem. So I wouldn't think that something like this would be an issue. The way that and I don't have any context from the last meeting, so I'm sorry, but so what it sounds like is you're just trying to do like one large event. Am I getting that right, or what's the plan, John?
Yeah, in essence, what we ultimately wanted to do was the continuation of what is currently occurring, which is basically what's happening now is Let's Talk Month for Berks Teens Matter, and continue it on just as a collaboration with the Youth Commission called Let's Keep Talking. So just adding on to the conversation and having more youth involvement, if you will, with this sort of event and idea, but getting it into the school district in a way that the conversation doesn't feel, you know what I mean, like that the conversation isn't awkward, that the conversation, you know, moves forward, so that we, you know, kids understand safety at the end of the day, or they understand like safe sex and all that other good stuff. You know, big, you know, end of the day goal is like hopefully reinstating sex education in the schools. But that's like further down the line. You know what I mean? Like the first thing, first and foremost, is just getting this let's keep talking event, if you will, to happen. And we were talking about getting the school district involved, but it kind of sounds like not that it's going to be easy, because there's no guarantees with anything, but like the conversation shouldn't be too difficult to have with the school district, if that makes sense.
I don't think it should be a difficult thing to accomplish. I think where you're gonna have the biggest issue is like logistically, like figuring out like where you're gonna do it, and like that kind of stuff, just to keep like so that you can make sure that everybody's doing it safely and all the COVID stuff and things like that. But
Right.
so almost like it's almost going to be like a health and wellness like day kind of thing, or like it's going to be in the eve. Like I guess I don't like really have a concept of like what the vision is.
Right. And that's what ultimately this meeting is also for, just like really structuring down what we're looking to do. I just know on my end, based off of like the conversation that we had, this is just a continuation of let's keep talking. But since this is the youth commission, this is more so for the youth commissioners to ultimately decide what they would like to see for this event and this overall grand idea that we're looking for. And I know more or less there's no, basically the de facto leader of this right now is Genesis. So Genesis, if you will, can you more or less explain what it is you're looking to see happen with this continuation of Let's Keep Talking, or Let's Talk About It?
So I remember last meeting we talked about how they had series where they would go on Facebook, have lives, and have a conversation, a topic of discussion. So that's what I was thinking. That like each of us, each youth commissioner will pick a topic and then go on live at a certain date whenever they're available, to their schedule. So I don't know if any of them like have but that was just the plan, if I'm getting this right, Wesley and Brandon, that we had left off with finding topics that we would like to discuss on live on the social media platforms.
Yeah, that was definitely an idea that we brought up, and I would be more than willing to do so. I think that's and in terms of like scheduling conflicts, I think that resolves a lot of issues. I know we were talking about doing something maybe in the schools. Do you have like any idea what that could be? Might that like take the form of distributing like materials like and if not, like maybe sexual education?
We spoke a lot about like the what is it, period poverty. We spoke a lot about that, and about doing a drive, collaborating with other schools in the district, or not in the district. I think, yeah, we were planning on starting with Reading. We're doing a period, what is it? I'm sorry, I keep getting it wrong.
Period poverty.
Yes, period poverty drive. And then we were just working on finding a location or multiple locations where we can have people donate supplies. So that was another thing that we left off of.
So you thinking that we could combine that in some way, combine that period poverty drive with like the social media blitz? Or I'm thinking, Jonathan, possibly like, I mean, again, this is the youth commissioners. So really it needs to, we want to do what you think would work well, but I'm wondering if there's a way to do like a bunch of shorts on a Facebook Live thing or something short, have people, I don't know, come up with short clips or sayings or, not sure.
I mean, if I could just chime in for a second, it kind of sounds like we're leaning more towards like a campaign of sorts. Kind of like not a marketing campaign, but I mean kind of leans towards that if we're sticking to social media, where we can get different youth ambassadors to like give out a fun fact, if you will, each day. I mean, short videos are like really easy. I mean, it takes like a minute to make, maybe like a couple minutes to edit. And we can go about it that way. I just know based off of the last meeting that we had, we were looking to find a physical like central location to make this happen. And that's where the conversation with the Reading School District came in. And then I believe we were also talking about possibly making this happen downtown as well, somewhere downtown. I can't remember off the top of my head where exactly that was. Let me see if I can find some of those notes from that day.
I think there was some talk of like a possible outdoor kind of thing, like in City Park or something like that, but I don't.
Right. Because from what I have from my notes, I don't remember the full context of like the conversation, but like some of the things we were looking to talk about, if you will, or the agenda involved in the Let's Keep Talking was like teaching sex education to young people in the city, sex education in the schools. There was also the topic of same-sex education. Oh, and then possible locations for the event. We were talking about the Goggle Works or the libraries as well. And for what it's worth, we can I assume like the library would be fine. I know the Goggle Works shouldn't be too difficult a conversation to have. I mean, as far as like having a location, I'm just not too sure because like for me, like the person that I mentioned it before, like the person that I can speak to, ironically enough, is my fiance because she's the garden manager at the Goggle Works. But the garden is, while it's technically the Goggle Works, I know it's like it's involved with Lowers Park in a way, so that's the school district. So that's why that gets a little tricky because like now it's a conversation with the school district all over again. So yeah, those were the locations at the least that we were in talks about. But I don't know if maybe anybody else has a location that might be a little more simplistic to get accomplished, or we can continue working with the Goggle Works. I mean, obviously, I know somebody there, and we can just lean in on that. Jonathan, you have your hand up. I'm so sorry. Yes.
So to recap, do we want to have things online? Do we want to also have an event? And also is not a fundraiser, but we also want to get donations for menstrual products. Those are like the big three things that's in everyone's minds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm a firm believer that we should always we can aim to the stars, but we need to also be realistic in terms of if we're doing stuff with teams, less is more, and the less complicated the better, because and just as all of us, we're doing a lot of stuff at the every time. So we could definitely do videos leading up to an event, maybe. I'm thinking that how many of you know a student or a teen that you can talk to, and let's start with the people that are right here. So if you know at least one teen, maybe you can reach out to that teen. It doesn't even have to be the youth ambassadors, take into consideration that we only have one as of now. But will they be willing to share something? And it could be something very simple. For example, what would you like to talk about with your family or your friends? Something that you don't dare. And of course, they will have to be comfortable enough sharing that. I'm also thinking that if it's leading to an event, what exactly is going to be that event? Is it going to be a tabling event for organizations that maybe support the mission, sexual health education, stuff like that? Because it might be less organizations, but you may have something. So it could be, for example, I know that Safe Perks will be all on board because of healthy relationships, which it's involved in sexual health education. That's from the top of my head. That's also, and that's also another thing. It doesn't have to be absolutely a Reading school student. I think it can be anyone young because you really want that voice, but it can also be that those attending and their transportation abilities. So I do think that it should be downtown in a place. Outside sounds more appealing because of COVID protocols. It's easier to control that. You don't have to be too this, but we also need to consider that if it's on November, temperature starts to drop, and that might be another challenge. So we may want to go inside. So I think going for very simple things, and it may, if it's leading to a event, it will have to be a campaign behind it, and it can be short videos, maybe talking to another person, very simple, but we will have to. It sounds simple creating a video. Unless it's on TikTok, we may have a couple of issues recording because you want every video to have the same format, around the same length. If we are using graphics, who is gonna make those graphics happen? So, and if any of you know how to do it, please say that you do. I don't. So I just go on TikTok and I do my thing there. So that's why I say the simpler, the better. But the most important thing is to have a specific goal, because I feel like we may be trying to reach out to different things. And for example, period poverty or menstrual equity, which is is in the same concept, that can be a whole campaign on its own. I'm not saying that it has to, but just to narrow down what exactly we want to do so we can sell it to people better.
Yeah, no, I actually like that a lot. I definitely like the idea of setting up a campaign throughout November with video format and all that. As far as like centralized location to record, that's where it gets a little tricky. Is like where can we record? Maybe we just use a day just to record students just who have questions or whatever the case may be. And then starting in November, we could just put a video out each day, just putting the word out there, like this is what teens are trying to figure out. But then the conversation goes like, where do we record? Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna edit? Like the one person that I have in mind, but like again, I don't know if like this. I don't know like all the access that we have with city government since we're doing the youth commission, but I don't know if like Christian Shelley, I don't know if Christian is the one that could do this, or if that's even possible considering like the short time frame. I'm not sure.
I would have to check in with him. If he can't, he may have some other contacts for us.
Okay, but it's not out the realm of possibility then, because we could find somebody. Okay, cool. So, there it is. I mean, we at the very least we have you know, a way to get someone to do the video. It's just a matter of like when and where they're going to record this video, so that way they have enough time to edit it for this campaign. And then as far as the campaign itself, like the online campaigns, like how long do we want that to be, and when do we want this event to be? Like when do we want the event to happen? You know, like that's another thing. I mean, for what it's worth, I think you know, 2 weeks of a campaign is long enough for people to get the idea. But then again, that kind of brings down the time frame of let's keep talking. Yeah, it's just some thoughts there. Heather, I know you had your hand up.
I did. So I know, and this again, it sounds awesome. I'm like super excited about all that you're kind of spitballing here. There's a lot of awesome ideas, but I think that since we don't have a ton of YAs yet at this point, I'm wondering how or who are we going to be able to reach out to get them to want to do a video and then to be able to get it out in November. I just don't know. Like if you're saying 2 weeks of campaigns and you want to do like a couple short clips, in my mind, and maybe I'm wrong, you're going to want, you know, a lot of young people to be able to do that. And just like kind of throwing a little bit of not so much fun realism into the mix. I don't know how many youth we're going to be able to get in such a short amount of time. Like, you know, Jonathan has his one YA, and he's working his butt off trying to get more, but I wouldn't want your awesome ideas to be reliant on our ability to bring in all of the youth and then it falls short because we're unable to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I totally understand that one. Genesis, I could put a video together with clips. That'd be mucho appreciated, Genesis. If you got the skills and the ability, by all means, do so. We will make it work. But as far as like, you know what I mean, headed to the realism, yeah, no, I definitely understand. Like it would probably be a little tough. I don't know. This is like more so a question. I guess I don't know if Mark's gonna know the answer because that's more so leaning towards the high school. And you know, it's just like understanding how it all works. Would young people volunteering to do this, is that considered like a volunteer hour? Is that like something that, you know, 'cause I know part of the curriculum, I believe, I don't know if things have changed since we graduated, Mark, that you have to volunteer at least an hour, I think, to graduate.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that doesn't exist anymore. Um, like almost
Did I just
positive.
date myself?
Yeah, I think a little bit. So yeah, I mean, if kids are looking for volunteer hours, I mean, I think this would qualify, but yeah, I don't think they like need it.
It hasn't for a while. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh,
Oh
geez.
man. Wow. Okay.
I think there are, for National Honor Society, you have like to have a certain amount of hours before you can have like the medal or whatever. Like, do you know about that, Genesis, as well?
Yeah, I think I remember that for graduation. And we also have like the graduation project. We had to like write a poem, but that can also be a thing, like another alternative for them. I don't know if it's still going on as well.
Would you guys happen to know who, like, which teacher runs the National Honor Society at the moment?
Sackler.
Yeah.
Miss Eckler? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
All right, then.
in terms of like, it's difficult because the time frame is like so short. I think if on a stipulation that we were like trying to find students, like it would probably be a good idea to approach Sackler and have her like approach the NHS. But I think like we're already almost halfway through October, and I think our time frame is a little shorter. I'm thinking maybe like why not have like we have 3 commissioners here and we have 1 YA, like why not have like one specific person like open up about a topic instead of a lot of individuals.
Can you elaborate? I love the cameo appearance by the cat. Do Brandon, can you elaborate just a tiny bit more about that one? I'm just a little confused on that
I
one.
think like the path we're like looking towards right now is that if we want to do these videos, we want to incorporate like a lot of the youth in these videos. I think in terms of like speaking on in something like realistic, it's probably difficult to find a lot of different high schoolers that are able to talk about these topics in like whenever November comes. If that's something we want to approach, then I'm all for it. But I think it's probably more realistic to have like a select few talk about these topics instead of like branching out. I don't know if you agree or.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, at this point, I kind of see the writing on the wall. We probably shouldn't go with the online campaign for now, just because of the short time frame. So maybe if we just set up like one particular event, I mean, still like let's keep talking and still, a continuation of let's talk about it. It's just obviously we can't do it for like the month time frame, you know what I mean? Because now we're like I think 18 days away from November. So I think if we just, figure out at the very least one centralized date and time that we want to have a particular event where we can talk about all these things, that would be best. And this is where the conversation about where we can do it comes into play. It sounds like at Reading High, it's not going to be too difficult depending on like the conversation that's had at the next school board meeting. So that can be in consideration, but the difficulty is we're dependent now on a decision that we don't know if it's going to be yes or no. And we should probably go with the route of a location that we know for certain, like we can talk to and they'll let us do it. So that's where, Goggleworks or the library is going to come into play. And I don't know whom may have I guess connections to the library where we can speak to them. Oh, Shelly has her hand up. Where we can where we can talk to them and see if we can make this happen. Preferably, the main library, because that's the one that most people are aware of. So, Shelly, since you did have your hand up, would you possibly know someone there?
I do. The executive director of the library system. The libraries are part of the city's management. So we always work in partnership with the libraries. So I do have contact with her.
Oh, that's perfect. Then we should
I'll send her an email.
yeah, I say we should probably. I mean, this isn't my decision at the end of the day. This is more so having the youth commissioners decide this one. But would you guys be all right with having I mean, also Berkshire Matter. This is a collaborative event. Would you guys be all right with going with the library to make this happen? Or do we want to still check out like other places? I mean, we kind of have a short time frame. So if there is another place you want to consider, we would have to get the ball rolling ASAP.
Will it be inside the library or outside the library?
I understand what you want to do as far as a physical event. I mean, as far as like physical event, Heather, just to answer that one real quick, it's just how do I explain this properly? Basically, providing the opportunity to continue the conversation as far as let's talk. Now that there's like the youth commission involved, it's like an expanded, if you will, not expanded, but like a bigger conversation, if you will, because now we have more young people involved in the conversation, So like this would allow people to come in if they have their questions, we can have the conversation, you know what I mean? The physical location for me anyway, I've always felt like a physical location and physical event always leads to more conversation, if you will. And that was my thinking of it. But would it be similar to a forum? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the end of the day, like a forum, the discussion, not like a panel or anything. I think that's kind of, I mean, for me, that's kind of weird, but just a forum, if you will, where we can have this conversation about sex education, the importance of having it in the schools, why it's important for kids to learn about it and everything of the sort, you know. That's what I was thinking, like a forum at the end of the day. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in about that one, because I can spitball ideas all day, but at the end of the day, this isn't my decision. And Brandon, Genesis, Wesley, any thoughts on this? Does this kind of lean towards what you guys were looking for in the first place? Because again, I'm just spitballing ideas, but I want you guys to feel comfortable and feel like this is your event at the end of the day, not just me throwing out ideas.
I think like in terms of like what the event should encapsulate, I want like Genesis to take the lead. I think she had a lot of good ideas.
Do you mean in like the Facebook Lives, or are you talking about the physical event? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, physical event.
Okay. See, I don't know about that, the physical event. Like, I think that my head is just thinking about what we can, like what's easier for us now at the moment. You know, like making videos that we were talking about and lives. And then as far as the physical event, I think I like what you were saying about the open forum, but I don't know. My head is just thinking about what we can do now, what's easier now. I wasn't like, I'm still not there yet, basically, is what I'm saying. Because I don't know what that would look like and how to go about that, depending on who's engaged in our conversation through social media and all that.
Oh,
Yeah, Jonathan, go ahead. Sorry.
no, Wesley was gonna speak.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I agree with Genesis. I think we should do the Facebook Live first, see what conversation we stir up on social media, and then the next step from that would be doing a physical event.
Okay.
It's simpler. It's something that can be done. It doesn't involve planning way too much. This is something, I mean, the way we usually do our Facebook Lives, it's everything is virtual. Even when we are in the same building, we use a software. I send it to the guest, and I control everything from my computer. And maybe that will lead into you know, a longer, hopefully a longer partnership, or you know, keeping the conversation going, because we started with this. You know, stay tuned for what's gonna be next. And maybe next will be an event, maybe it will be a photo, maybe it will be something completely different. But Genesis, I think that's something that is very accessible to do. And for example, people won't need to travel. Possibly, they would just need to have, you know, internet. And maybe we can even supply that. You know, where you are, what do you have that is closer? Is it Cook County? Is it the school? Is it the LGBT center that have people there? Maybe if that's more accessible, we can ask people to go there with permission. So maybe we can move around better if it's virtual, and we can use that for different things. We can even, yes, well, let's keep it simple. So yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brandon.
I could talk afterwards if you had an idea.
I was just going to mention like the topics that I had in mind. Yeah. Okay. What was that, Brandon?
I just wanted to re-emphasize how I also back the idea that like we should start by virtual. I mean, like my biggest thing with doing like a physical event is like just participation in general, because we were talking about transportation and we were talking about how busy these kids are in high school, and I was busy as well. And so I just worry if we were going to do it in like a library or in the Goggle Works, like how many kids would we even be able to engage with the conversation? So I am all for that.
Yeah, and like our videos could be something that could be shown in classes as well. You never know.
That's what I was thinking with, using them for something different, because it's a digital, file. You can just send it to people. You can send it to BCTV, for example, if they want to do something special, just like, hey, we did this. You use it in any way, just have it. For that, I will also recommend that if there are minors involved, under 18, we will need their parents' permission. That's something that has to happen. There's no way around it. We do need permission. But aside from that, we can help out creating, maybe not necessarily the content, but guiding and doing stuff. And I might be even willing to use my own the software that I use with a couple of changes, and we can use that. And I see that Shelly has her hand up.
Just wanted to remind everybody, we don't have to hurry up and only do this in November. We can start when we're ready, and it can last as long as it needs to last. We talked about doing it in November, but it doesn't have to be a rush, hurry to do November. You have as much time as you would like.
And there's different days. For example, you have on December World AIDS Day. Maybe you can have a conversation about it and use some of the national days that we have and incorporate them into your conversations and videos. So that gives you more time and allows you to look ahead. And maybe I want to take upon that and I want to have a conversation about that. We can use it. So it allows you to plan.
Thank you. Well, some of the topics that I have in mind so far are double standards between girls and women and boys and men. Another topic is no means no consent. Another topic is dating culture. And in this dating culture topic, we can talk about perceptions of college culture, because like their perceptions of how college is going to be in relation to sexuality. Yeah, and with dating culture obviously comes online dating apps, social media, and all that. So those are a few topics that we can start off with, and then maybe focus on topics that enhance other projects that we want to take on, like the period poverty, and then how you were saying, Jonathan, about AIDS, around AIDS prevention. And so those are like kind of like, I guess, startup topics. What I think it's just something that I just pick things that like is easy to understand and something that I'm comfortable with starting off talking about. But if anybody has, and like if you, Brandon or Wesley, have any other ideas of anything that you feel comfortable in talking about, then go ahead.
I think those are phenomenal topics. And I think it's important that we do stick to like topics that aren't like just the same old archaic topics. Like, I think those are very like new Gen Z topics that we like face, our generation faces. So I don't have any off the top of my head because those are just phenomenal.
Honestly, it's thanks to the class I'm taking here, sex, gender, and body. I'm learning so much. Like, it's just something that I want to share, and that I didn't get to learn in high school. So that's really where I get off the topics from.
And I sort of wonder if there's value in having other people that would be your peer ages, Like Jonathan said, if folks are under 18, then we need to get parental permission. But also I think that folks that are 15, 16, 17, 18 look to all of you and your peers and are going to hear messages from you and your peers. And so the things like you're saying, like, gee, I'm learning about this now that I'm in college, you know, and now I see like the importance of these or how it's impacting me. I think that gives the people that are in high school permission to talk about these things and permission to ask questions and be curious.
That's literally a topic on itself. You know, things that I know now that I wish I knew, things that I dare to speak about, to learn about, to be curious about now that I'm in college and I didn't dare because of this or that. You know, the Facebook lives that we do, it was born from that. You know, it was things that we wish parents knew, and then it kind of evolved to, you know, let's talk about community because it's still important. People need to know about this, but it was basically that. What do we feel that we want to talk about? And, you know, with the people's response, what do you also want to talk about? And why are you not here talking about it? Let's talk. So like Brandon said, this is your generation. You know, I'm already not there anymore, but you know, those are things that I, as not only as a professional, but as a brother, I want to know more. And maybe, you know, my brother can't put it into words necessarily, but with your voice, I can get like, okay, like I know what he means. I just needed someone that was closer to my age to kind of explain me what he was going through. So I will support you in any way. I think that's awesome. And hopefully when people get maybe the feeling that, okay, they are talking about it, that means that we can talk about it. Maybe that's when you take it out, you know, in person. So yeah, it's fine behind a screen, but now we're gonna talk about it in person. So come in, join, learn about this and that, be an advocate. So hopefully you will create the ground for something bigger, and it started in social media.
Yeah, I agree with all that. If my 2 cents means anything. Yeah, no, definitely awesome topics. This kind of makes me want to go back to my old like college agendas to see what I was talking about, because I like totally forgot like some of these topics here. Yeah, no, I mean, as far as like double standards, no means no, dating culture, yeah, phenomenal topics. And then the idea of setting up the Facebook Live to do this, yeah, I totally agree. I totally see where doing a physical event right off the bat, probably not the best idea. So I mean, as far as like the Facebook Live, I mean, Jonathan, you did mention that World AIDS Day is coming up. Do you know exactly what? Because I know that there's a World AIDS Day, but I don't remember the exact date.
It's December 1st.
December 1st. And what day does December 1st fall on? Let's see, that falls on a Wednesday.
Huh.
So, and that's the first Wednesday of the month. So technically, Shelly's got the figure. She knows where I might
It's a
be
meeting
going.
night, so if you want to do something, we already have that date all set aside, so everybody should be available.
Whoop, there it is. So long as Bergstein's Matter is good with it, I think December 1st might be the day we have this Facebook Live. And then for what it's worth, if all goes well with that, then we can do like a physical event, if you will, for next year. Because I mean, it's perfect timing, you know.
and depending on how you want to do it, something that we haven't been able to do, but maybe something that can be done is we can record beforehand, you can do it live, but regardless, something that can be done if we use this type of software that I'm referring to, maybe we can download that audio and create a podcast. And that's not that complicated. And you will have it, you can either see your beautiful faces or you can just listen to our beautiful voices. So there's no excuses to get the information. And if it's
Right.
short, I think it might be, well, that will depend on how you think, the media that you all consume right now. I don't know if any of you listen to podcasts, if you watch videos on YouTube, if you prefer very short videos as in TikTok, that will depend on what you think will be better. But after you record that, we can do a lot of things with it.
So that's interesting. I mean, the podcast format could work, but then we would have to have this out consistently. Not really, but like, it would kind of help if it was going on consistently, I don't know if maybe I guess that kind of lead. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but like a conversation with like BCTV, if they put out audio of the meetings in podcast format, like this would be like a solid start to it, solid start to that idea. But I don't know. I mean, I do like that idea. It's just like, how do we go about that one? I do see Genesis' hand is up. Take it away, Genesis.
So guess what? So BCTV had an open house or something like that. So I was there. I went to the open house. And they spoke with me. They actually talked about, I don't know if they talked to any of you, John or Michelle, about having youth commission on BCTV, because that's what they were telling me about. So it's coming up. Just a heads up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Miss English, she mentioned the idea. Now this is like a funding sort of thing that comes into play, if you will. But she was saying something along the lines of, you can have like 12 shows a year, I believe it was, and you pay, I think it's like $1,000. I don't know if that's something that we would be able to do, but Genesis, I don't know if that's what you were alluding to, but I remember that was a conversation that I had with Miss English. But that's like a funding thing, if you will. Genesis, would you happen to remember that conversation?
They were just like, it just sparked up because I was with Johanny. She invited me to the open house for the BCTV, and she introduced me to them. Well, obviously they were there, but it's just a conversation of having us there, since we are like, the youth commission is significant in the city of Reading and it's like a big thing, but nothing specific. I think it was just talking about, like, just thinking first off of just one episode. They weren't telling me like a whole lot, but yeah, that was that.
Got you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just real quick, if Brandon or Wesley, like, if you want to choose any of the topics that I mentioned, or if there are any new topics for the videos, just wanted to say that out there. Like,
did you have peer pressure as one of your topics? I can't remember if you did.
no, but that's a good one. And I don't know if you want to link that with the maybe that can be its own. I was gonna say, if you want to link that with like social media, or that's a good one.
You can.
Yeah.
I think peer pressure. I think if we were looking at like topics that go along with that, maybe that's the perceptions of college culture, possibly. Actually, a lot of these sound like no. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. But the peer pressure one could fall under no means no, double standards, and yeah, and then college culture. So yeah, that topic works very well with anything that you have there. But I mean, as far as like that podcast format, Jonathan, I would just have to reach out to BCTV. I mean, it's probably trying to do meet the youth commission. What are you all about? What's the mission, kind of thing. I think so too, Mark. I know me and Genesis did a show once. I think it was like Jahani's show, but we had to fill in for it, and we were talking about the youth commission. So maybe they're trying to do something like that. But I know with the conversation that I had, I know they're interested in expanding that into something more. So again, it's just a conversation with BCTV. But getting back to this Facebook Live event itself, I guess we kind of have an idea that we want to have it December 1st. What we're going to talk about, Genesis already laid out the blueprint. Yeah, it's just a matter of like seeing who would be involved in all of this, I suppose, like who would donate as opposed to something like this. I don't think it really is too much donation really involved in this. I don't know. I think we already laid down the blueprint, to be quite honest. I think we have this set. We're about to start doing like going in circles with the same topics. So unless anybody has like any other ideas in regards to this Facebook Live event, I think we're kind of set. We know what we want to do. December 1st, Facebook Live, talk about these topics. It would probably be like a collaboration, having like that youth ambassador that you guys have, and then the commissioners here, and figuring out who wants to talk about what topic, how they want to approach it, and everything of the sort from there. But other than that, I think we're set, guys, to be quite honest. But how do you guys feel? This is just me talking. How do you guys feel?
I just think like an action step for not our next meeting, but just each one of us pick a topic and then what's it called? Build on it, build something, build some content for it, and then we just have to pick a date when to post it, and coordinate with Berkshires Matter.
Wait, Jens, I'm sorry, just real quick, not trying to extend the conversation further, but it kind of sounds like you're still trying to do the I guess like maybe it's like a weekly marketing campaign about it leading up to the Facebook Live event. I don't know if we kind of we decided we weren't going to do that one, or you still wanted to do that.
Oh, I think I was confused then. So we're doing videos instead of Facebook Live?
Nah, from what I gathered, we were doing the Facebook Live on World AIDS Day, and then if all goes well, we're gonna expand it further into the physical event.
So we're not doing let's keep talking, like what's it called? Brandon, me and Brandon, Wesley, and I, we're not gonna just do one video just to post it out there. Do you know what I mean? In the month of November.
I might have confused it. I'm not sure. Jonathan, you have your hand up.
I think I'm thinking more on, because I have a few thoughts. Maybe you can still do something and it's just like one video each leading up to it. Very short video, straight to the point, I don't know. Let's keep talking because I don't want people to keep feeling shame because of their menstruation or their period, something like that. Something very short, straight to the point. But of course, it doesn't have to be only about that. Now, something to consider: the youth commissioners don't have social media from the group, right? So something to consider is, where is this going to be streamed to? Depending on how you want to do it, maybe you can, you can, that has a name, I don't remember right now, but you can stream to different platforms at the same time. Usually that will be Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Instagram doesn't allow cross streaming, something like that. You have to make Instagram something different, and it's very complicated, and I hate it. TikTok, it will have to be also on its own. Twitter really is not used to stream, but if it's going to be like from the social medias from the city, that can get complicated. Unless you want to use like our social medias, we can see how we can do that. That I don't think that will be a problem. But you being the youth commissioners, I think it will be great if you can have the backup from the city.
Yeah, I agree with that, Jonathan. I think it's a good idea. We can start with, since it's a collaboration with First Teams Matters, we can start, what's it called? It can originate from your social media platforms and then be shared by the City of Reading social media. And I don't know, Brandon and Wesley, what do you feel comfortable with? I think I'm more comfortable with videos, or would you like lives? Like, should we do it the same format? Like, should we all do lives, or can we choose what we're comfortable with? What do you think?
I think that videos probably would be easier just to get the point across, just to get like the let's keep talking idea through. I feel like a live would probably be a lot more time, personally, but maybe like personally, I feel like we could just do like short videos, just like short little topics leading up to it. That would probably be easier, and it would probably just be like a video post.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think videos would be better because live is like we're live, so we can't make any mistakes. But if we have videos, we can make all the mistakes in the world, and we can just edit and do a better job.
Yay, videos it is.
So just to be clear, you are doing short videos leading up to the longer one. Okay, so that's what's gonna be done.
And you said one video per person.
Yeah, I mean it can be. Yeah, you can do how many you want to do. Like don't limit yourself by.
How long does the clip need to be?
I'm thinking no longer than 1 minute. Straight to the point.
Yeah, I feel like, we could make it like let's keep talking Tuesday, where every Tuesday, boom, 1 minute video where we keep talking about the subject. Oh, we're gonna talk a minute about, I was thinking about like toxic masculinity, and we just introduce the topic, boom, next week, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And actually, if Brandon, if you're interested in toxic masculinity, we have a group for people that are talking about it. So let me know. But it can be something like that. It's just like you introduce it, maybe you say a couple of things, and that's it. And I keep thinking, I'm sorry, I've been using it more. I keep thinking TikTok, because especially for the students, you mentioned Instagram, you mentioned Facebook. Facebook is like old people's ground. But you mentioned TikTok, and that is like, oh, you have a TikTok. And it's like, hold up, it's like for the thing, but it really gets them excited. So if that's kind of like the format that you want to follow, and it's easier to edit if you want to make some type of edits, you can use something like that, and we can just upload it as a video. But then the big one, do you want to do it pre-recorded or do you want to do it live? You can have time. I'm just putting it out there so you can think about it. As Wesley said, live is like whatever happens, it happened. If it's pre-recorded, it will be great to have it from one go, but but just so you consider what exactly you want to do with it.
I mean, the youth commission TikTok, that could work, Brandon. That definitely could work. Yeah, I mean the TikTok style, from what I understand, now I'm starting to realize my age. I don't know much about TikTok. So from what I understand, like that format's really
Welcome.
popular. Yeah, well, welcome to the age group. Yeah, no, yeah, from what I understand, like it's pretty cool, and it pretty much gets like the job done as far as like getting the topic out. And if I'm not mistaken, you can do up to a minute videos on TikTok as well. So 3 minutes? Wow. I know nothing about TikTok. Okay.
It's a recent update. It's amazing because I talk a lot. So as you can see, so 3 minutes is like, it's gonna be a 1 minute video and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. My only question with it, only question about it is, do we want the commissioners to make the videos on their own and then send it to you guys, or how I don't know how we're approaching that one. And this is more so a question for the commissioners. I don't know if you can like download those videos after the fact and then send them over. But then if I understand it right, your username is gonna be all over, so that's a bit of a problem. I don't know how that works. TikTok is your field. I have no knowledge of it.
I think depending on how you want to approach it, if a youth commission TikTok is something that you all want to do, I will say do it there and we can share it. If not, if you want, if for any reason you can't do it like that, we can figure something out. But I'm guessing that will also require you talking to someone in the city and getting permission. And like,
Yeah, I said that sounds like a conversation with Christian.
Here is something that I just can't speak about because now that's like y'all stuff from the city.
Yeah, so that's definitely a conversation about like what we can and cannot do. Then we'll figure that out on the back end. But yeah, I think now like we just have to figure out the logistics, if you will, on city government end. But I think now we like officially know what we're doing as far as like the videos, like the 1 minute video leading up to the event, and then we have the event, whether it's pre-recorded or whatever we decide from there. We know what we're doing now. So now it's just a matter of the commissioners, well, us figuring out if we can do it, and then also the commissioners is making the videos after the fact, and then we got it from I believe. Sound good to everybody? Can I get a thumbs up just for confirmation? God, I don't know these things. We're good. We're good. All right, we're good. We're good. Does anybody else have like any more questions in regards to this? What we want to do, this, that, and the third? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Wait, did we pick a day? Did you say Tuesday? Random. Did you say Tuesdays?
Yeah, that was just something I like brought up because it was catchy, But maybe like the weekly thing would probably be I don't know what you're looking to take up, but that's what I think would be best.
Do we have to pick a date in this meeting? Shelly, is that something? No? Okay, we can do it through the group chat. Okay, great. Thank you. Because we're missing a person.
You can't decide it in the group chat. No. You could talk about it, but you can't make a decision.
I'll put this on the November agenda so that hopefully the bigger group will attend and we can finalize everything.
There it is. But yeah, I think we have it figured out now what we're gonna do. I know on our end, the commissioners, we just need like a couple minutes to talk about next week's event, the Halloween event. But other than that, as far as like the collaboration with Bergstein's Matter, I think we have it down pat, unless you guys have any other comments or concerns on your end. No?
My comment would be,
Of course,
thank
same
you.
this.
Can't wait to see what's gonna happen, what's gonna come of this.
Yeah, this is
And
gonna
anything
be
you need,
fun.
just let us know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think this event's gonna be awesome. Like everything leading up to it is just gonna be really cool to see. And I'll get to learn TikTok too, selfishly. This is gonna be great. But yeah, guys, as far as Bergstein's Matter, you guys are all set. We appreciate you guys stopping in and checking in and working with us as much as we want to work with you guys to see this event through and through. And I think this is gonna be an awesome first step into what's ultimately the big goal of bringing sex education back into the schools. All right.
Thank you
you
so
guys.
much.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
And we appreciate
Thank
And we
you.
appreciate all of you.
Have a great night. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys have
you
a
so
great
You
much.
too.
night.
See ya.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Night.
All right. Then the commissioners just hanging on. All right. Cool. Wesley bounced immediately. It's okay. But as far as okay, but as far as the event for next week, Brandon, you ran point on this, and you, Allen Iverson, this whole thing like incredibly. That's yeah, you man, awesome job. So like now we just have to figure out like certain logistics of it, and then on your end, you know more about this than I do. So if you can just explain exactly how this is all gonna work, you let us know, and then next week we'll be ready.
Sure, yeah. So this event is basically like gonna be for the kids. So like you're just trying to find like different organizations and groups to like it's mainly just to get candy for the kids. And like my point was always just to have like police presence so like parents feel safe bringing them over. So there's gonna be like different individual stands on Penn Street for like the respective business. Other than like just giving out candy, there's also going to be like a job fair as well for parents. So that's kind of like a double thing. And so we were trying to like organize like different tasks for different people. Mainly what I thought like would be a good thing for the youth commission, it was just like in having like in the entrance, having us be like the welcome stand. So just introducing like, oh, welcome, like this is gonna be like the layout of the place. And then we're gonna probably have like masks that we could give out to people, as well as other things as well. But that's what I originally had us leaning towards. But the event in itself is gonna be next Wednesday. If I'm not mistaken, it'll be, they keep changing the hours, but last time I checked, it was 5:30, 8:30. Okay. So that's where I was at, like just having the commission have the stand just to like welcome everybody. In terms of like the event itself.
So I guess I'm like it's not I'm a little confused. So how exactly is this lineup supposed to be work? Like what I guess I should probably reread the poster, but like which block exactly is it gonna be that we're able to like stand on one end or both ends, if you will, and then we can introduce ourselves and all that?
So it'll be like the near 5th and 6th Street.
Okay.
So like right in that area. So if I'm getting really artistic here, It hasn't been like finalized, but this is what I'm thinking, like have this be 5th Street, have this be 6th Street. There will be like a general entrance in each area. This is all just
Okay.
stipulation right now, but maybe like we could have one stand here and one stand here, welcoming the people as they walk in.
Okay, and then the
That's just
businesses
like,
are gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry.
and this is gonna be like a blocked off area. So like theoretically speaking, they're like, that's gonna be where the traffic is gonna be going in. These were just my ideas. Like we're also more than welcome to bounce back, like and say, well, maybe we want the youth commission to like do something else.
I mean, me personally, I like the idea of like standing on each end, introducing ourselves, like, hey, we're such and such from the youth commission. Welcome to the Trick or Treat Fest. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a way to introduce ourselves, let people know that we're here, we're listening to them. If they have like something of concern, by all means, you know, we can even jot down any concerns that they may have. We could talk about it in future meetings and all that, you know, or let them know that they can stop into meetings and all that good stuff. Like the possibilities basically are endless as far as that one's concerned. But yeah, no, and just generally speaking, I'm a fan of being at each end and then just introducing ourselves. It's the best way to get people's attention. It means being right there at the front of everything, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Now, how is, I mean, this, never mind, because the question I was going to ask was more so for like the business owners themselves. They can figure out whether or not they're going to have tables out with candy and all. That's their decision. But yeah, I'm for it.
Right now, like the idea is that like there's going to be the layout with like different stands. Like just because I'm feeling extra artistic today.
You got Picasso in the building. There we go.
Oh yeah. No, like if these are the entrances, what I'm thinking, what I've like, the graph that I've gotten is that like, let's say like there's different stands over here, you know, and that's going to be like the setup. There's going to be like a stage area, but so there's going to be like business owners giving out candy. There's going to be activities. I think last time we even talked about there being bounce houses, so it's gonna be a lot.
Oh, wow.
But in terms of like the role of the youth commission, like what I wanted to express was that like we could just be like that welcome stand. We could talk about our goals as a youth commission as well. And yeah, they also will like give us a table because we don't have any. So we'd probably need to, that they'd offer us.
I have a question about that actually. So me and Saoni, she wasn't able to make it, but I was wondering if we can have the youth commission can have our table together because so we can both be like in between both, I guess, because we're gonna be representing the Latinos United for Change Club here on Penn State Berks campus. So we can be right next to the youth commission table. And then as far wait, first you can answer that question. Wait, hold on. Let me ask another question. And then on top of that, everybody will have to bring their own tables. Is that correct? Right? Okay,
Yes.
sounds good. All right. Okay.
Yeah, and now that I know what your table is called, I'll send an email to the people who are setting up and ask them to put you right with the youth commission so you can do double duty.
Awesome. Thank you. And my job's gonna be there, so it's a lot.
So yeah, I've definitely like been involved in a lot of it, but I don't know what you don't know in terms of like everything. So like feel free to ask any questions. Feel more than welcome to.
I mean, I kind of got the general idea of it. It's just a trick or treat event where business owners are going to be passing out candy. Maybe they're passing out business cards to parents, you know, promoting their business and all that. And then we're kind of running point as far as like introducing ourselves and and letting people know what the youth commission is all about. And if young people have like their concerns, we can write them down or whatever the case may be, or inform them of like the public comments that's available to them at any meeting. You know, I think it's pretty straightforward. I don't want us to overthink this one. I mean, it was one thing for us to think about like the whole like Berks Teens Matter collaboration. That's one thing. This one's a little simpler because we kind of have like the general format already set in play. Like we know what we're doing with this one.
Yeah, totally. I actually had a question as well. Do we have any more like slots in the commission? Like maybe someone is interested and we could like extend that information as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that would be another thing to think of as well. But other than that, just like a side thing, we were thinking of making like bags for like all the children, but it is going to be an involved process. They were asking for like people to volunteer their time. I don't know if anyone here would be open to do that, but once we have like an exact date, like that they're going to actually get the bags together and make, I could extend that information. But
They never picked a day yesterday.
it was up in the air because they don't know if they want to like personally pick up all the candy and stuff before the weekend. But I can ask Christian if him and Nate finalize the day on that.
Okay. Let me know.
I believe they're shooting for Monday, just like Monday, and that probably would be the best anyways because you don't want to leave for last minute. But so once that's finalized, I could definitely reach out with more information.
Yeah, once there's a set date, I'll make the adjustment accordingly, depending on the date itself. So that's fine. Yeah. I mean, but as far aside from that, I mean, I think we kind of already have this one figured out. It's just we volunteer Monday if anyone's free, and then on Wednesday it's showtime. We know exactly what we're doing. We're front and center, talking to people, welcoming them to the Halloween event, and we just have a good time and let people know about the commission as well. All right. Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Cool. I also agree. So let's not overcomplicate things.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of already did that earlier with this whole event. So, Wesley, I think you had something you were about to say.
Yes, I might not have heard it before, but who's supplying the candy?
The candy's coming from like, I think there's like 40 plus organizations now that are like involved in this. So it's coming from everywhere from like Sweet Street to
Okay.
yeah.
So we don't have to physically bring anything. No.
At the end of the day, that's also why I wanted to be like the welcome stand. So like we wouldn't have to necessarily give out candy. We would just give out the information regarding the event. So no, we wouldn't have to worry about candy or anything.
Okay.
Cool. Good question. Other than anybody else, questions, comments, concerns? Nah, we got it down pat. Brandon, if you can, once you have like, or Shelly, once we have like the set date for the volunteering of the candy and all that, just let us know, and then we'll go from there. But then on Wednesday, showtime. That's it. All right. But other than that, guys, we're all set, man. We're all set. Okay. So it's time to adjourn the meeting. And this is where I take a step back because I am not supposed to be saying anything. Do you guys remember how this works?
Is it motion to adjourn?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like all in favor, say aye.
We need a second.
Oh, you need a second.
Oh, I second that motion. I was on mute.
Okay. Motion made by Wesley, approved or seconded by Genesis and Brandon at the same time, but we're gonna say Genesis for the sake of chivalry. So guys, we're all set. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you possibly Monday, but definitely next Wednesday.
All right. See you Wednesday.
You guys have a good
Have
night.
a good
now.
one.
See everybody.